Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. And when you know that you're going to have a guy on your show with the name of Puck Daddy, you know it's going to be a damn good day. Puck Daddy Greg Wyshynski joining Armen and Levack right now. He is the editor of the Puck Daddy blog on Yahoo Sports. And Greg, when you look at the Rangers game last night, they lose 6-5 in overtime. How many of those 6 goals fall squarely on the shoulders of Henrik Lundqvist?
Well, I don't know how many of the 6 do, but the 6th one certainly did, and that's the disturbing part, is that you go into overtime expecting the last thing you expect is Henrik Lundqvist to give up a regrettable goal or a soft goal to lose a game, and that's exactly what happened last night. But, you know, overall, it's just this vibe that you're getting from the Lightning that the Game 2 victory that they had at MSG, despite it being kind of a funky game with all the power plays that were shared between the two teams, definitely sparked their offensive confidence. They were one of the best offensive teams in the regular season. I think they started to believe that this series might be a very tightly played 2-1 game kind of series. They dropped 6 on the Rangers in Game 2, do the same in Game 3, and now I believe they really have it in their minds that this Rangers team isn't going to be able to defend them.
Now, why is that? What is going wrong with this Rangers team that looks so strong during the regular season?
I don't know. You know, the game yesterday was a little disturbing in the sense that, they scored the first goal. Usually that was a way for the Rangers to really put the clamp down. But every time they would get a lead in that game or climb back into it, they couldn't seem to keep Tampa Bay off the board. I think it's less of what the Rangers aren't doing versus what the Lightning is doing, with the fact that this triplets line of Tyler Johnson and Kucherov and Andrej Palat was without question one of the best ones of the regular season, and now they've really kind of recaptured their swagger in the series. You combine that with the way that Steven Stamkos is playing, and it's just a really good offensive team that right now is using its speed for great advantage against the Rangers team that I don't think can match it.
Greg Wyshynski is the editor of the Puck Daddy blog on Yahoo Sports. Find him on Twitter at Wyshynski. Greg, when you look at last night's game, it seemed like the pace of the game was the one that the Lightning was trying to push throughout. It was really quick. Would you agree that the Rangers need to get this thing down to their pace and make it more of a defensive game in order for them to get back in the series?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, the Rangers are an interesting team in the sense that I think Alain Vigneault can have them play a number of different styles, and they can win in a number of different ways. But there's no question that, you know, throughout the playoffs, they've been at their most effective when they've been playing almost trap hockey. When they've clogged the neutral zone, they've not allowed teams to really gain too much speed there or get creative there, and then allowing, relied on Lundqvist to kind of do his thing. The issue right now is that they've not been able to clamp down the neutral zone against the Lightning. The Lightning are a team that's very creative with their breakouts. They've been able to find a lot of room to kind of create these odd man rushes and create these rushes into the Rangers zone that allows their offensive players to be creative with the puck. And then the other problematic thing is the fact that Lundqvist hasn't been sharp in the last 2 games at all. So, you know, the idea that you can just expect him to win a game 1-0 or 2-1 may not be as valid in this series as it was in the previous 2 series.
Greg, I'm prone to fits of panic when it comes to the Rangers. I've had Linda Cohn and Dave Maloney both tell me to chill out, but when I look at 12 goals scored in 2 games against the Rangers, how much panic can I have right now? Should I start freaking out yet?
Yeah, I think it's time to freak out. Because not only is it a case of the Lightning have recaptured that offensive game and that offensive confidence that they had coming into the playoffs, but it's still the same problems over and over for the Rangers. The same guys, Dan Louis and Nash, that aren't contributing offensively like they should be. It's the same issues on special teams at times. It's become some problematic trends for the Rangers in these playoffs, and now they're meeting a Lightning team that adds another wrinkle to it, which is that they don't seem to be susceptible to what the Rangers do defensively, and they certainly aren't intimidated by Lundqvist with the way they played against them in the last 2 games and the way they played against them in the regular season.
Greg Wyshynski, editor of the Puck Daddy blog on Yahoo Sports. And Greg, as we are your home for New York sports, we're very familiar with how the New York Rangers roll. They love to have their backs up against the wall, go to a Game 7, and then when everybody thinks they're out, prove everybody wrong. From what you saw last night and heading into Game 4, do you think this team has that left in the tank in this series?
Yeah, sure, and that's a great point, which is that we are at the point of the series where their backs are inching against the wall. They're not up against it quite yet, and that's usually when we see this team kind of snap into place and start playing the style of hockey that they need to win in the playoffs. So the bigger the advantage seemingly for the Lightning, the bigger the comeback, or the bigger the effort from the Rangers, or at least that's how it usually works for them in the playoffs under Lane Vigneault. So you can't count them out, even if they lose a Game 4 heading back to New York, based on how they rallied from 3-1 down in the previous series.
All right, so normally you're asked this before a series starts. I'll ask you now: who wins it and how many games?
I had the Lightning in 7, and that was just to be contrarian and have them buck all of the Game 7 trends that the Rangers had. It may be quicker than that. I thought the Lightning had an advantage in this series based on their speed, based on their offense, and just based on the confidence that they came into the series with. And so, I still think it's the Lightning. I think it could be earlier than 7. But again, like you said, the Rangers with their backs against the wall are something to behold, and the series will not be over even if it's 3-1.
Greg Wyshynski, editor of the Puck Daddy blog on Yahoo Sports, at Wyshynski on Twitter. Greg, thanks for your time, man, and hopefully we will, have some more time to talk to you as the Rangers continue on to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's our hopes, my friend.
Hey, I live in Manhattan. It's better than having to travel to Tampa. So
Amen to
hopefully you're
that.
right.
Beautiful.
Take care, boys.